One for attending this lecture. The purpose of this, thank you. The purpose of this lecture is learning. Whenever I give a lecture, I study a lot, so I learn a lot. I hope you learn few things too, because only through learning we can have much healthier, younger, smarter brain and body, and eventually more energy. I am a little bit nervous because this lecture is 6 hours and we started late. Anyway, I try to cut few things, and I hope if I talk very fast, you let me know. Let's start from coral. Coral are animal or creature that they live in the ocean and sea. They live in a shallow depth of ocean and sea. Every year they grow from 5 millimeter till 10 centimeter, and they become as tall as 1,400 meter. What is their longevity? The University of Hawaii says 700 years. There was an article in Washington Post, they said 2,700. I studied an article, it says 3,500, because we have 6,000 different species. Okay. These coral are so colorful because they coexist with algae. Algae are plants. They take carbon dioxide of water, release oxygen. They need oxygen. Coral receive 95% of their energies from algae. Algae grow inside them. We have 3,000 red and orange algae, 2,000 green, blue, purple, 1,000 yellow and brown. That's why they are so colorful, so nice. They grow sexually and asexually. Asexually means non-sexually. They grow, and they make colonies. We call the colonies reef. Reef are hard coral. This is a sample of reef. Then we have soft coral. Soft coral are small. This is a tube coral. This is brain coral. Of course, they have no brain. This is orange flower coral. This is leather, mushroom, fire. This is a fan coral and finger coral and branch coral. They grow sexually too. They eject, here you can see a little bit, a sperm and egg inside the water. Of course, 2 nights in a month when there is a full moon. And some of them get together, create lava or egg. They go down, down, down till they find a stone, and they create a new colonies. Sometimes a colony dies and new one grow in the top of the old one. Okay, look at these are the hard, actually, coral. First of all, they have no ears, no, I mentioned brain, no backbone, no skeletons, but they have eyes in the top of their head. They see colors and they see enemies. And whenever they see enemies, these are polyps. The polyps jump in because they have a mouth. These polyps are very important. They are moving part of corals. You can see here. In the top of these polyps, they are tiny, tiny, tiny. They call it a stinking pentacle. They are actually algae. They grab a tiny food, tiny, tiny fish, and they throw it in the mouth. Okay, and at night they stretch, and they move like a wave, and they collect plankton. Plankton is the smallest, tiniest animal in the water. Look at here. So when they jump in, they see they become like a flower and they hide. They have very simple digestive system. They absorb calcium carbonate from the water. They create limestone. Limestone is very hard shell around them. It's like a protective. It is like a ring. We have 3 tools to learn more about the earth. Tool number 1 is stone. Number 2 are ice. In previous lecture, I talked about the stone and ice. Number 3 are corals. Corals, actually, these biologists go under the water. They pick up the new colony. From the thickness of these shells, they figure out what is the temperature of the water, what is the condition of the water, what is the global warming, and they keep the sample to compare it with previous year. Coral are very, very useful creatures. First of all, we use them as a decoration, we all know. Secondly, they are seaboard boundaries. This is seashore, and these are coral. Thirdly, they are tourism attraction. They create job. Annually, they create $172 billion of economy globally. Just in USA, they create $30 billion economy. And they use them in the medicine. They create anti-cancer medicine. They create anti-AIDS. They create bone grafting. And in a skeleton repair, in the jaws replacement, and sunscreen. They create sunscreen. But the most important thing, they are home to 25% of fish, scallops, shrimp, lobster, eels, snails, worms, just name it. They swim along there, they sleep inside, they lay their eggs. Even sharks go and visit these corals, but they want to sleep there. At night, the shark leave the corals. Okay, unfortunately, they are dying. The dying of coral causes bleach effect. They all become white. There are many reasons. First of all, 50% of coral in Pacific Ocean are dead, 15 in Indian Ocean, 80 in Caribbean Sea, 90 in Florida coast. Globally, 46% are dead. The biology says by year 2050, they all will die. They all. What's the reason? I'm going to mention all of the reasons. First of all, look at these starfish. They go sit top of the coral. They eat the nutrition. They live algae. This is a starfish. Before, after, they are all white right now. Okay. The diver go and step on them. The boat go release the oil, release gas, and they anchor on the rear the boat, anchor on the corals. You all heard of Japan and how much pollution, they created. So also we have a storm, we have lots of volcanic ruptures, we have earthquake, we have waves. Those are very dangerous for coral. Also, the particle from wind. They are winds from one place to another. And they found the dust particle from Asia, from China, all the way in the top of the car in the Florida. They found dust particle from the Sahara Desert, from Africa, all the way to southeast of America. This dust particle pour in the ocean too. They have bacteria, they have virus, they have fungi, and they are very dangerous. Also, the temperature of the water is rising. The last 30 years, it rose at least 3 degrees Fahrenheit. And a lot of coral get used to a 62 to 80 degree Fahrenheit. Some even they need 73 to 77 Fahrenheit. And algae are worse. Algae are dying first because they need a cooler temperature. Algae dies, coral cannot survive. Their food is from them, oxygen is from them. Okay, and the worst thing is, all of these are dying. The worst thing is the acidification of ocean. We have carbon dioxide, we have methane. Half of carbon dioxide is entering the water. 1/3 of methane. Methane is lighter gas, but it absorbs 20 times more heat. So 1/3 of methane is entering the water. Last lecture I explained, under the ocean are full of ice. The rise of temperature is melting the ice. Under the ice are full of dinosaurs, full of old plants. They are dead, but they created a lot of bacteria. Bacteria create methane. This methane, like a bubble, they are coming up. First make water acidic, and then they leave the ocean, they come in the air. That's why 2014 was the hottest year in the record. It was the last 150 years they have record. It was the hottest. Exponentially, the temperature is rising. Okay, these are all bad news. You didn't think I only give you a bad news, did you? No, we have a good news too. The good news is there is an area named, actually it is city, Bliss. This is a map of Mexico. It is southeast of Mexico. You know, marine biologists go to Caribbean Sea, and this Bliss has a huge, huge park, national park. It is 10,000 square miles of national park. There is a beautiful lake, huge lake. They go pick up a live sample of corals. You see there, because 80% are dead, so they have to find live one. They take it to the lake. They grow them in the lake. They make sure they are very, very healthy. Then they transfer them to aquarium, to nursery, because it would be disaster. We lose these beautiful and helpful and useful creature. So let's go to the next. I'm so nervous. There is so much to talk about. Okay. Let's go to gene and genetic. First of all, we have 100 trillion cells in our body. Each cell is 10 micrometer, means 1,000 of millimeter. It's so tiny. These cells consist of many elements, many. Smallest changes to the bond of these elements create tremendous change, tremendous. I try to explain why. Let me talk about, because in half an hour, I'm going to have a conclusion why these changes are so important. Let's look at carbon outside the body. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The electrons are in 2 places. One are inside, okay, the other are outside. The outside is 4 electrons. These 4 electrons bond with other elements. The inside circle are not that important. So carbon under a lot of pressure, 3,000 degrees centigrade, become graphite. This is graphite, okay? This is graphite. Graphite is one of the softer component on Earth. Graphite, because has a free bond, this bond is free. Graphite cannot transmit heat or electricity. We call it conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, now under more pressure, more temperature, it takes 400 to 450 million years. The graphite become diamond. Look at diamond. Why do they call it diamond? Because it's in diamond shape. Okay. Diamond is the hardest component on Earth. They cut the glass with it. They use it in the top of the drill, edge of the saw. And because it doesn't have any free, it cannot transmit any heat or electricity. We call it insulator of heat and electricity. One bond, totally opposite component. So these are very important in our body. Okay, let's go back to our body. Of course, I want to explain one more thing. The thing is, there are 2 scientists, English scientists, that from, actually I changed that. Graphite, they create graphene. Graphene is 1 layer atom of hydrogen. It has 6 hexagons. I mentioned already twice, if you put 1 million atoms of carbon next to each other, become 1 hair. So graphene is the smallest and narrower than the hair, but 200 times stronger than a steel. It can bend, it's flexible. They are going to use graphene in cellular phone, in computer, built in the car, building an airplane. And why they are doing that? It was NASA's dream, have a sky elevator, go up there 60,000 miles up. So NASA believed if they have this elevator, people from different culture, different religion go up there and look at the universe, realize the Earth is so insignificant. We are nobody, nothing, even in our galaxy. Then they become closer together, nicer together. You know, we have a Kepler telescope. I didn't want to talk about it, but because last week they also discovered 2 two new planets. They are very promising. I'm talking about Kepler now. Kepler is from 2004 orbiting the Earth, okay? And they are finding exoplanets, planets similar to Earth. They found so far 1,800. 6 of them are very promising, very, very close to Earth, the size-wise, the temperature. Anyway, Kepler has so many computers, they cannot see the planet. They only when periodically they see a dim of light, they see a shadow of light, they send the information through the computer to NASA. NASA have so many scientists, so many equipment, so many computers. Then NASA can figure out, yeah, they could be planets. Oh, what size they are, what temperature they are, and how far they are from us, how far they are from host planet. No, we have to wait till 2018. James Webb, they are building another telescope, it's larger. Now, the Kepler is 1.4 meter mirror. James Webb is going to be 6.5 meters. Then they can tell us if these planets are habitable, if they have water, carbon dioxide, oxygen, electromagnetic field. Then we have to wait. I read that last week. I'm so excited. European 15 countries put the money together. They are building amazing, amazing telescope. This one is going to be built in Chile. It is as big as one football field. This one, called European Southern Observatory, has a mirror of 42 meters. It's a huge, huge. Then they can tell us if these planets have intelligence. I am living for that day, and I'm sure they are going to prove that. So I'm very excited. Let's go back to gene and genetics. Okay, Charles Darwin, the genius in biology, and he knew that the small changes make a big changes, but he had no idea gene has to do with it. Gene was discovered 1930 and on. Let's go through the cell, human cell. Of course, Charles Darwin a lot of lessons. The most important thing, you know, bacteria are majority one cell, one so simple. How chemically one cell can change and become human cell. It's amazing. It's too complicated. Just shortly, they are capillaries. These are blood vessels. Come bring food and oxygen. Bring, it's not extreme. When maybe I stay. When concentration of food and oxygen is higher here than the cell cytoplasm, the food and oxygen penetrating. Okay, everything is about law of physics, chemistry, biology. We have many molecules, the 4 important molecules. One is protein. You know, in our body, we have 60 different elements. In the universe, we have 94 natural, 114 elements. These 60 elements, 96% of them are 4 elements only. Oxygen, 60 to 65%. In the air, we have 20% oxygen. That is why we have to keep breathing or we die. Then we have carbon, 18.5%. Hydrogen, 9.5%. Nitrogen, 3.3%. So in the air, we have 78% nitrogen, 78. These are combination of these 4 make 20 different amino acids. And then these 20 different amino acids create 100,000 protein. In one cell, we have 100,000 protein. I talk about it when they are going to be created. Then we have calcium, 1.5%. We have phosphorus, 1%. The remaining 54 elements are 1.5%. Let's say iron. We have sodium, potassium, iodine. We have lithium. These are so important. They are 0 point something in the body. Anyway, the 4 important one is one protein, lots of protein. Then we have fat. We have we have fat and sugar. And we have mitochondria. Mitochondria, some cells have 100, some cells have thousands of mitochondria. These mitochondria, again, oxygen, sugar, fat penetrate inside, and they get help from two proteins. They create energy, chemical energy. This chemical energy goes to our muscle, changes to mechanical energy so we can move. Okay, the important one about genetic is the nucleus. We have 23 pair of chromosomes. 22 are the same. 23rd is in female XX, in male XY. I want to make a joke. Robert says no. Maybe I say it. You know, one chromosome different, one Y. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are from frozen planet. Women are from volcanic rupture, full of activity. Venus is amazing, too hot. I need a secretary. Okay, Fariba. I know I am going to have so many enemies by the end of this. Anyway, I said it. Anyway. Okay, thank you so much. Top of this chromosome, that was joke. Top of this chromosome, we have 20,000-30,000 genes. Amazing, yeah? These 20,000, 30,000, only 2% have DNA, genetic information that transfer from one generation to the other generation. The other, suppose they know 500 that they make cancer. They know 9 of them make AIDS, cause AIDS. They know 4 cause like stem cells in the skin. But half of this gene, they have no idea what is their function. That's why geneticists, the science is growing science, very good science. Okay, now that we reach here, I want to mention something. Study all of these genes called Human Genome Project. Clinton, year 2000, approved this project. Of course, the gene is very complicated, but the study of 30,000, that time cost 100,000. Last one was 2,000. I read right now, it is $1,000. It is good idea, bad idea. Why good, why bad? Good idea, they give you a report in your hand. It shows, would you have a chance to have heart attack? Would you have a chance to have a stroke? Would you have a chance to have a lung cancer? It's a good, you know, this is a good preparation. Bad news. Bad news is, I tell you why. We have 322 million population here. 4.7 people have autism. 4.7 million. 5 million have Alzheimer. No, I should say that is wrong, because some forget that they forgot. So let's put it 6 million. 6 million have. 13.5 million have different cancer, all put together, okay? Then we have 30 million that have genetic disease. 35 million have AIDS. 60 million have mental diseases. You put all this together, you are half a population, okay? So right now, they can, when woman is pregnant, they can take her blood. 1 drop of saliva from men, they can figure out the baby's genomes. There are a lot of people who want perfect babies. They might get rid of the baby, and that's not fair, you know. The science are growing. I hope I get to that so much. It's amazing. And maybe you want to go find a job. In the future, a lot of companies will have access to this information. If they know that you have a depression or you might have a lung disease, would they hire you? They might not hire you. So it's not a good idea. Okay, the important thing is DNA, that 2%. It's very complicated. First of all, we call it, this is a twisted double-strand DNA. We call it double helix. If we pull one of these DNA in one cell, it's 1.7-2 meter in our body. We have 50,000 miles of DNA. Okay, let me go on DNA. You know, these are very important. First of all, one side is sugar, the other side is phosphorus. We have this, I call it a step, I call it twisted ladder. The steps are sequenced, they are 3 billion sequence in one cell, 3 billion. Okay, this step have a 4 nucleic acid. This is very important because this is a difference between us. Nucleic acid are A, adenine, T, thymine, C, cytosine, G, guanine, okay? Adenine always should be with thymine. C should be with guanine. But we people are zero, I put it here, 0.1% different from each other. Every 1,000 sequence, we are one different, 3 million different. Why we are different? Why? Because of mutation, because of mistake. Because of mistake, what? One sequence A missing, one sequence A is instead of T, the other G is instead of C. And these have a number, 1 billion, that's why it cost 100,000, it used to cost. Now they can follow these genes all the way back to Africa. Where did you come from? You came from Europe, you came from Asia. They can follow. And because of this mutation, there are 100,000 different DNA, 100 billion different DNA. Billion, we have 7.3 billion. Could somebody have my DNA? It is possible, anything is possible. Chances almost zero. Okay, let me talk about forensic science. In forensic science, they go collect the evidence because they want to take it to court and convict somebody, the criminal. So in forensic science, if you have a twin sister, because DNA are too similar, they use fingerprint. Fingerprint is very important. You know, in many crimes, fingerprint, toe print, footprint, shoe print, tire print solve many, many crimes. How does this happen? How do we get this? When we are in our mommy's tummy, 7 weeks old, we have hand and finger. These fingers are very soft. We push them against our mommy's tummy, and we create these lines. I was thinking about it. Even 7 weeks, we are so different. We create different impression in our mom's body. So not even 2 people, they have found them with the same fingerprint. Of course, the forensic science has improved unbelievable. First of all, they don't see any fingerprint. They have a very grayish powder. It is actually aluminum, and that one is magnetic. So that powder can show any fingerprint. They put a clear tape on it, take a photograph, and they go to the room. There is no blood. They use luminol. This is an ultraviolet ray. It is very strong ray. Shows tiniest track of blood. Today, they find the tiniest blood. They kept it from 35 years ago. They put it in the tube, add the enzyme. They can tell you that if it is, what DNA it is, and they are throwing people in prison after 35 years. This is amazing. This is very exciting and very amazing. Okay, now let me explain one more thing. You know, we said that what does DNA responsible for? DNA, first of all, duplication of the cell. These sequence are nitrogen. In the middle hydrogen, there is an enzyme, the helicase. When helicase come here, separate hydrogen. Hydrogen is the simplest element, and the cell duplicate. 2 are we have here another molecule. We call it RNA. RNA are very important. They are like a messenger. DNA give them a message. We need a protein, so they penetrate inside the cell, make 100,000 different protein. Say, our blood type is from DNA. You know, each of us have a different blood type. And then our appearance, our eye color, the height, hair color, and our ability and talents are because of DNA. And unfortunately, our genetic disease. We have 200 different genetic disease. If I have time, I explain, because sometimes like 6 is fibrosis. Number 7, this chromosome, you know, they have few genes. They have problem with it. And then we have mental diseases from schizophrenia, from bipolar. We have obsessive compulsive disorders, waswas. And we have depression and psychopath. Now let's fly. I am butterfly. I like to fly. Okay. Let's meet Dr. James Fallon. He's a neurologist. He teaches, actually he's 67 years old, teaches in the Miami University. He loves fishing, that's why I brought this. 8 years ago, he was working in psychopath brain. He knows that 12 genes are responsible to become psychopath. Psychopaths are like a serial killer. They kill without feeling remorse. And 3% of human beings have this gene inside their body, okay? Then he knew that with PET scan, I explained before, PET scan is a scan that it's 4-dimension, works with gamma ray and shows the color of brain, and they can figure out different brain disease, different activity of the brain. He realized that the 2 places in the brain of psychopath, behind the eyes, and these are temporal lobe under it, 2 location changes the color. So his wife came to him and says, look, my mom has Alzheimer. I'm worried. Please, please, I want to know if the rest of relatives, we have similar brain. So he said, okay, let me check. He checked 30 PET scan. He realized one is psychopath. He said, who could it be? Who could it be? He realized that it's him, himself. No way. He said, I'm going to check again. He checked again, it was him. He got upset, he went to his mom. He said, Mom, who was criminal in the family? She said, no, not my family, not my. And women are always right, Anyway, she was right, because somebody in her husband's family had killed his mom, they throw him in prison. So he studied a lot and a lot. He realized you can have those 12 bad genes, but if you grow up in a family with love and attention, you will not act on those genes. Those genes won't become activated. But if you grow up in a family that abuse you, mistreat you, you are going to become psychopath. Okay, this is our lesson from him. I have to stretch it because I want to make something funny. But anyway. So these are, let me see, where could I go to? Angela, come back.
What was the name of the researcher?
Of Mr. James Fallon, F-A-L-L-O-N, 67. You go neurologist, he's very famous now, very famous. Actually, he has a video you can listen in YouTube. We have Jimmy Fallon, very similar, but 2 different characters. It's like our genes here, they are so different. Anyway, I want to go to something else that I need Angela. Okay, with DNA, with DNAs, you know, because the DNA is such an important thing that they discover a lot of crimes. So I wanted to explain 3, 4 interesting, but we don't have time. I'm going to go through one, because DNA, there is DNA in the earwax, DNA in the root of the hair. I explained that one, but 1 episode only. And of course, there is a DNA on also in the tooth, in the pulps of a tooth. They solve many crimes with pulps of the tooth. They find the bodies, they don't know who belong to somebody dead 18 months. They figure out from that. And they found 100,000 years old fossil in Germany in the cave that they used also pulps in the tooth. They figure out DNA. But yeah, so there is a lot. This episode I love the most, so forget about the rest. This episode, there was a young guy, 19 years old. He was a student in New Jersey. He, at 11 p.m., drove 3 hours till Connecticut to his parents' house, turned off the alarm system. He knew the code. With the axe, hit his father 16 times, his mom 3 times. The father died immediately. Mother amazingly survived, okay? He was very, very, very smart. He broke down the alarm system. We didn't want anybody knows he was there. Didn't left any fingerprint, any DNA. Drove back, didn't use easy pass. You know, he paid by cash. He paid by cash, and you know, of course, picture of the car. They take a picture of every car. But the car, anybody could have drove the car. He had a yellow Jeep. So If you pay by cash, you touch a paper. If your hands are not very dry, you leave your skin cell on anything, anything. From mitochondria's DNA, they have a little bit DNA in mitochondria. They figure out he did it and he's in prison. Kids, you cannot kill your parents and get away with it. That was a joke. I know my kids. I know my cousin. I know Michael is not unfortunately here. Michael, Zach, everybody. They kill themselves first if they want to hurt. They never hurt themselves. They die for their parents. I know that. It was a bad joke. Please, Fariba, take their name off my list, please. Okay. I'm stretching it because I want Dylan come back, and I am. Okay, let's talk about this guy. The hair, the root of the hair has DNA. Of course, one more crime recently was solved from mitochondria on the hair because our hair constantly touches the skin, okay? But this guy is genius, Ray Kurzweil. He's super genius, okay? He is 66 years old. This guy has wrote a lot of books, invented a lot of things, and one of the books he wrote, he's actually head of engineering department, head of engineering in Google. Amazing guy, invented many things, you know, you don't have time. The singularity is near. He wrote this big book, 2005, very, very interesting book about the technology, and he predicted the future. If you like, you can go online. My idol in life is Michio Kaku. He had an amazing lecture with Michio Kaku in Saudi Arabia. Listen to it, it's amazing. This guy predicted a lot of things for future, but he said by year 2045, robots are going to be 1 billion times smarter than us. And he predicted by then or before, from root of DNA, root of the hair, they can bring people back. So he saved few of his father's hair somewhere, and he said, I want to bring him back because I didn't have a good relationship with him. I want to create a good relationship. You know, today I knew my grandchildren are here, so I said, it cannot be too serious, this lecture. I have to make it a little bit fun too. So I decided I change it a little bit, okay? I want to take you back to the future and use all of the genius man's prediction about the future. So imagine right now it is year 2045. They brought me back. They left me with the children of Nicole and Dylan. So I hope it is educational, this section too. Let you meet, this is Jackie and this is John. They are my great-grandchildren. Hi, great-grandma. How are you, great-grandma? What is going on? What is it? Why do you talk like a robot? Why do you walk like a robot? Great-grandma, everybody does that. Great-grandma, when we go out with our friend, we don't know if they are robot or real human being. Wow. Oh, my. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Give me my cell. Give me my cell. I want to know who is alive. Cellular phone. Nobody has cell. Look at your arm. Look at your arm. Where is the switch? Where is the switch? No switch, great-grandma. Just twist it. No switch. Okay, okay. Let me dial the number. Let me see who is alive. No dialing. Great-grandma, this is a smartphone. Great-grandma, he can read your mind. Just think about the person. Think about. It's going to dial it for you. Okay, okay, I don't like it. Let me have my computer. Let me have my computer. Great-grandma, no computer, no computer. The walls are computer. Okay, okay, okay. Where is the switch? Where is the switch? I told you great-grandma is dumb. This is the second time she says switch, switch. Great-grandma, wink at it, wink at it, wink. What? What? I did it. I told you great-grandma is too old. She forgot to wink. Okay, let me go find the light switch. Where is the light switch? No, 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 she's too dumb, too dumb. This is the third time. Great-grandma, great-grandma, snap your finger. What? Like that? Like that? No, no. I was watching TV on the wall. You turn off the TV. Cancel it, cancel it. Oh my God, oh my God. I need psychologist. I need psychiatric. I never needed, I'm going crazy. Great-grandma, we told you everything is on the wall. Pull your hair here, robot psychologists come. Pull your hair here, robot psychiatry come. Okay, go away, okay. No, no, that means fire, fire, no, cancel it. Robot firemen come, robot firemen. Why did they bring you back? Why? Great-grandma, don't do that, don't, please. That means emergency, robot police will come. I can't take it, I can't take it. No, no, don't do that. That means we have no water. Robot plumber will come. Okay, okay. No, that means we need robot cleaning lady. Robot. I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. Grandma, you are robot yourself. I know. یه گاو روغو 100 گاو ریغو میکنه. Great-grandma, we have chip in our brain. We can read your mind. Great-grandma, it translates everything to English for us. It was funny. It was funny. Okay, my heart, I can't take it. Great-grandma, don't worry. This is a smartphone. It has monitor. It can monitor your heart. If you are in trouble, the hospital knows. They send robot nurse. They will send robot flying ambulance. I cannot take it. Where are my children? Where is Andrea? Where is Angela? Where is Robert? They went to visit planet Mars. They will be back in 1 week. Oh no, 1 week? I'm sick and tired of being babysitter. I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to be babysitter. Grandma, we are your babysitter, we are. They paid us a lot of money to take care of you. We have a chip here, we are smarter than you. We have a Google right here, Google. Great-grandma, we have another chip, we can read your mind. Okay. What do I say? What do I think? Great-grandma, you are saying these whiny kids, they want to teach everything to me over my dead body. Okay, don't worry. Andrea taught me something. She said I can have telepathy with you. I can have access to your brain. I need a frequency. 0, 5, 3, 4, 7, 84, 86, 85. I am so mad at you kids, so mad at you. Why great-grandma, why? What do we think? You are saying, this great-grandma is ancient. This great-grandma is fossil. This great-grandma is too dumb. She cannot learn anything. Don't waste our life. Let's go to our friend's house. No, please don't leave me. I will be bored. Please, I'll do anything you want. Great-grandma, here, smartphone. You have 360 degrees of computer. You can do anything you want. You want to watch movie? You can watch any program. You can watch all these movies. No, you are old yourself. You can watch any TV program, present, past, Fantasy Island. No, Fantasy Island are for the kids. I don't like. Okay. Play any game you want. These are virtual computer, okay? Great-grandma, you like to climb the mountain. You want to ride a bicycle. You want to rollerblade. Oh, no, great-grandma loves dancing. She loves dancing. Okay, right. That I'll be happy. But I'm worried they'll steal you. You are going to steal. No, great-grandma, we have another chips. In 2 seconds, police helicopter send a robot. They save us. Okay. No, great-grandma, wait. We can wear an outfit. Nobody can see us, not even you. The light goes from the back. Okay, I know. Don't show off. I know. When I was alive, they had this technique, microwave radiation. The light doesn't return. Okay. But I'm worried. I am worried. Let me give you a ride. This is the funniest joke. Nobody drives anymore. We have two choices, great-grandma. First, we have flying car. Second, they are quantum physics trained. They are up the ground. They move so fast. We have exoskeleton. We can jump in the train. Bye, great-grandma. Bye. Bye. Have fun. Bye. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Today, they are doing cloning. Let's meet another genius man, Robert Lanza. By February 11, he's going to be 59 years old. He does stem cell research. You know, there are a lot of people, they say you can grow up in misery, in poor condition. If you have talent, if you are smart, you find the excuse or way to expose that intelligence. That is this man. That is this man. He grew up in Roxbury, south of Boston. His father was professional gambler day and night. By the time he was 13 years old, he would change the gene in the chicken. And then he went to medical school in Pennsylvania College. Today he's top 100 most influential people on earth. And of course, next to Pope Francis. I love this Pope Francis. What an intelligent, what a smart man, remarkable man. Can you believe Pope says Big Bang is true, evolution is true, the Adam and Eve is a story, lies, heaven and hell doesn't exist, lie. God is not magician. God doesn't have magic wand. He lives in a tiny apartment in a poor condition. Recently, they gave him so many prizes. He put it on auction. He said, I want to spend it for poor people. Previous Pope had tens of help. Previous Pope lived in the Vatican half of the year. Many of you had gone to Vatican. What a castle. Half of the year, they had many castles. He said, I don't need any help. I want to live with like people of my own country, Argentina. Very poor, you know, just take care of everything himself. Anyway, this guy does a stem cell research. This guy has done cloning. Cloning, you take a stem cell from embryo. He has created chicken, cow, horse, dog, cat, sheep, cow, ox. And also he has mixed. He take a sperm from one and eggs another one, create a combination of ox and cow. And he believed, blind shall see, cripple shall walk. The people who have hemophilia disease shall not bleed to death. Actually, he does himself the technique for the macular decongestive eye surgery. He take a stem cell, you know, retina of some people cannot produce protein, so they become blind. He take a stem cell of somebody healthy and implant it in the top of retina. Retina is 0.5 millimeter, so thin. And he did it for a child, 8 years old. In 4 days, he went to the zoo. He did one eye and then later on in another. Because of his genius ideas and technique, a doctor, Steven Schwartz in UCLA, has recently done macular degenerative diseases on 2 people they can see. Another ophthalmologist in London. They did on 2 other patients they can see too. That is amazing. And he has an island. In Boston, he has an island full of dinosaur and bone, different bones. He's absolutely genius. Lots of Catholic and the Republican, they want him dead. They don't like him. but too bad because he want to help humanity, and he's doing a great job because of his techniques. They put a stem cell in the spinal of somebody, he can walk. And good luck to him, he's an amazing guy, amazing. Okay. Robert, they call him Bob too. Lanza, L-A-Z-A, Lan, L-A-N-Z-A, Lanza. He teaches also in Massachusetts. Go ahead.
Just a quick question. With cloning, do they know if those animals can reproduce?
Of course, they can do everything, yeah. But the cloning of human being is illegal right now in USA. Okay, let's go, I don't want to go in details, but let's go fast to family tree. Let's start from gorilla. Gorilla lived 22 million years ago in East Africa. Okay, this is gorilla. Then gorilla start evolving, changing, evolving. 2 million years ago, some of gorillas moved to the north of Congo River. They become chimpanzee. Some went to the south of Congo River. They become bonobo. This is, first of all, gorilla's DNA, because you don't see, it is 1.5 approximately, 1.5% different than our DNA, than modern human being. Let's put here 1.5% for gorilla, here. So these two are from chimpanzee and bonobo. They are 1% different than us. 1% means every 100 sequence, one sequence is different. Means 30 million sequences. I show you those. 30 million. Of course, the scientists believe something. They said, because human beings start eating meat, our jawbone expanded, our brain become larger. We have 3-pound brain. The 1-pound brain. Also because our jawbone expand the frontal lobe of the brain. I talk about it if we have time. We have thinking and speaking under that. Those expand too. We can speak, we can communicate. Because we can communicate, we can do a social task. Because we can do a social task, we can also learn from each other, learn from our parents, our brother, sister, our teachers, our friends, and also we can adapt to the environment. That is the reason we have improved so much in technology and science. Okay, after this was representing the chimp. Of course, the chimpanzees are smarter than us. The area of the memory is hippocampus. In human is 3.5 centimeters. They have much larger area. I have a DVD to prove that. You can borrow it from me. It's amazing DVD. Anyway, after that, we have Homo habilis. These are the first human being, Homo habilis. These chimps lived 2 million years ago. These Homo habilis, 1.8 million till 500,000 years ago. And they ate vegetable and fruit. Then we have Homo erectus. These walk straight. This is actually a DNA of Homo erectus. I went to a lecture of anthropologists. They keep saying, we are shocked. We are shocked. How similar their DNA is to us 400,000 years ago. They have 0.12% their DNA different. And they mentioned something else that was interesting. They said, we are shocked. We are shocked these people on food from Africa to go to Europe, go to Asia. And they had so many mixed relationships. Right now from DNA we know what happened, where did they go, what they had relationship. They are very amazed too. Okay, so this is Homo erectus. So they live up to 400 to 200,000. This one is Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens lived from 200 years ago till 30,000 years ago. Then we have modern human from 30,000 till today, they lived here. I want to explain something here. This is a human bone, 7 million years old, 7. They found a couple of them in China and in Africa. So and also they found 55 million years monkey with a tail, monkey. So they think the evolution might have repeated, and that's true. The people who believe on astronomy, they think every few years something happened to the Earth. Like 65 million years ago, we had the asteroid hit the Earth and took care of all the dinosaurs. They all died. And they always believe the dominant species is going to die. Of course, many things, last lecture I said, many things could happen to the Earth, but one of the bad things is we have two stars, supernova, WR104. They are 8,000 light years away from the Earth. So it's, each light year is 6,048,000,000,000 quadrillion miles away. But if they burst, it depends if they burst horizontal or vertical, they could wipe out human being on Earth. But they won't wipe out the bacteria, and then they think evolution will start. Okay, this is a theory. It hasn't been approved yet. Okay, so this is the time. Yes, please.
You know, I agree with that person. I think that, you know, in time, I think all nations, whether it be China, US, or Persia, is going to clone, you know, animals or plants or whatever, you know, for food, for industry. But anytime you're going to try to clone humans, you're going to run into problems with the authorities and morals and ethics, and those people are probably not going to let scientists who probably can clone humans, those authorities like the governors, state lawmakers, president, congressmen, I don't think they're going to let scientists clone people, because it's a moral and ethic issue. It's basically humans trying to play God, right?
You are absolutely right. But if they want to, you know, help other human beings, there are so many diseases we need cures, so that is a good idea. But you are absolutely right. I'm against cloning of human also. Okay, let's go to rat and mouse. These are 3%, and birds, their DNA 3% different. Of course, we cannot say 90 million sequence, because these have only 86 million sequence in their DNA, because they are so tiny. Any woman is scared of their background, please write on their name in my list. Okay, let's finish with this section. Now you are here till tomorrow morning. I'm sorry about that. Let's go in another subject. Then we can have, let's go to epigenetic. Epigenetic is a very hot subject today in the mind of a lot of people who are in medicine. Let's talk about epigenetic. What does epigenetic mean? Epi means above, side, around genes. Okay. Also, they say epigenome. Look at these. They are top of the DNA or top of the genes, and these affect in histone. This is histone. They are protein around the gene. They affect the protein around the gene, and they cause diseases. So they make a gene active or inactive. They are also genetic. They transfer inherited infos and traits from one generation to next to next. How do they know? They use rat and mouse. This is a male mouse has a epigenetic. Female doesn't. They get together. Now, in embryo, there is a epigenetic. They too have a baby, half from mother, half from father. The baby has epigenetic. Next generation has it. The grandchild, great-grandchild. So they all have it. Let's see, how does epigenetic create? The epigenetic is CH3. I don't know what happened to CH3. CH3 is methyl. Methyl obtained from methane. Methane is these greenhouse gases we breathe constantly Methane. Methane is CH4. If it is C1, 2, 3, this is methyl, and we add one more, it becomes methane. So what happened that one bond eliminates? And we have methane, we have problems with genes, we have diseases, we have heart attack, we have cancer, all of these. None of cancer, heart attack, these are, has anything to do with DNA. These epigenetic doesn't affect DNA at all, okay? So why? What happened? 3 environmental factors. 4 environmental factors, sorry. The first one is stress. Stress creates cortisol, a stress hormone, affects the whole body. You know, identical twins are the best tool to study epigenetic. Like me, I had a twin sister, Faride. She was a sweetheart. Some of you knew her. And she had a stomach cancer 9 years ago. She died. We used to live in Boston. Nahid also, with her family, used to live. And Lehi Clinic does research on cancer. They called us. They said they do a free test for us. They send our blood to Canada. They sent it. We waited 6 months. I told you, believe me, she was under a lot of stress. You know, I'm sure we don't have a bad gene. They didn't believe me. I said, okay, we'll see. And test came back negative for both of us. So stress number 1. Food is number 2. What we eat, you know, has a lot of effect. 1890 in Sweden, they studied 300 women. And they watched them for 3 generations because Europe went through 2 wars, World War I, II. They had for a long time malnutrition. So they realized the period they had malnutrition, the early fatal cardiovascular disease like heart attack increased tremendously. Not only killed them, if they had a kid, the next generation. So we also eat medicine. Of course, if the doctor gives us a medicine, we definitely should take it. All the doctors are so smart. They are extremely smart because it is so difficult to go to medical school. Out of every 100 go to medical school, 25 drop out. Some suicide because of the pressure of medical school. I mean more the medicine you see in the drugstore, you see on the counter. I was listening to one of these advertisements. It was killing me. Cialis. Cialis is like Viagra. It was saying this side effect. You would have many allergic department, the allergic effect. You could have headache, stomachache, backache. You could have difficulty swallowing the food. You could have difficulty breathing. You could have problem seeing with your eyes. You could have problem hearing. And you could have muscle problem, joint problem. Come on, just say you're going to die slowly. And then, oh, it improves your lifestyle. It is so good for you and makes you feel so great. Okay, they have done a study, recent study. 113 people die in America every day from this prescription drug. 74% die from narcotic painkiller. Narcotic painkiller means a strong painkiller. From 1999 till now, 100,000 people die from narcotic painkiller. Between age 35 and 50, more people die from narcotic painkiller than accident and shooting together, okay? Also, they did another research. They researched and they realized that this narcotic painkiller only affect on the cancer patient. It doesn't have effect on headache, in migraine, in backache, in stomachache. Why? People who take it feel better because of placebo effect. Placebo effect is a course right now they teach in the college. I don't know if I should go fast through that. You want me? Okay, this doctor says, I'll find a pill. I mix the sugar and some food. My patient had the cancer. I said, look, this is going to make you feel good. You are going to get over the cancer. She went and took it. She came back 6 months because she believed it's going to work. It created a positive effect, and it increased your immunity, and you fight with the disease. She came and she was okay. She came back 1 year later. She said, oh, I have a relative. She's oncologist. She told me, no, this medicine, I never heard about it. Try it out. And doctor, I don't feel good. And she was right. She had cancer again. Again, doctor said, look, this medicine on trial, nobody knows about it. I did a favor to you. This is the best. She took it 6 months later, it's gone. Okay, so these are very important. I read something about Dr. Asha Asher. This guy is rehab doctor in UCLA. And he explained that I work with the patient that have a degree 4 cancer. You know, cancer has different degrees. He said, of course, I tell them, you have to exercise, you have to dance, you have to listen to happy program, you have to meditate, it's very good for the brain. But I tell them your attitude is the most important thing. He always tell them, this guy, I have to get it right, Arash Asher. He tells them, this guy, says, look, one person affected my life at all. His name is Viktor Frankl. He wrote a book, Man, Search of Meaning. He's a Holocaust survivor. This guy in this book says, look, it is not the strongest physically that survive. It is not the smartest mentally that survive. There are people who say, I'm going to endure this pain. I'm going to tolerate this pain. I'm going to make it. I want to live, I'm going to live. This is your attitude. You are free. You can have any attitude you want in your life. There are people, they find out they have cancer, sit down, cry till they die. There are people, we saw a lot of Americans. They travel, they enjoy life. They say, 2 months, great. I know how much time I have, let's enjoy life. So it is your attitude. Okay, let's go to number 3, chemical, effect of chemical. Yeah, 1976 in Seveso in Italy, there was explosion of chemical plants. Dioxin, the chemical, spread in the air. They did research on women. They realized that infertility rose 50%, and the time they needed to become pregnant rose 25%, also the next generation. We are surrounded with chemical. The smoking has at least 10 toxin, bad chemical for us. You know, we have the fertilizer around us, the pesticide in fertilizer. We have chemical in dry cleaning. Many plastic have chemical. Tooth filling has chemical. I read somewhere they add 20 different chemicals to the bread, so we become hungry fast, we eat more bread. They add chemical to vegetable and fruit, so they stay fresh. The worst chemical was in Europe, DDT. They sprayed it on a crop, so they kill mosquito. Why do we go far? Let's talk about Iran. We had MC. We closed the door. We closed the window. We spray MC to kill mosquito. We sleep there. Now we are wondering every year, 564,800 people die from cancer. Number 2 is cancer. Number 1 is heart attack, 600,000, a little bit more. Of course, every year, 1.7 come up with the new cases of cancer. But the good news is there are a lot of treatment for cancer. Okay, let's go to number 4. Let's go to radiation. You know, last lecture I talked about radiation. We have 7 different radiation. Gamma ray, worst one. Then X-ray. Then ultraviolet. Then we have visible light. Then infrared light, microwave, radio wave. The first 3 cause cancer. Gamma ray goes all the way to nucleus of the cell. Okay, if we live close to power plant, the electric company, we are exposed to X-ray, ultraviolet. If we live close to nuclear plant, forget about it. Gamma ray to X-ray, ultraviolet. They dump some of these wastes of nuclear plant somewhere underground. Those are radiation come up. Those cause gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet. You know, August 6, 1945, America hydrogen bomb in Hiroshima. Approximately 140,000 died. 3 days later, throw another one in Nagasaki. That was plutonium, much stronger. Why only 80,000 died? Because Nagasaki is an industrial area. It's next to the mountain, not populated. If it was reversed, oh, disaster. 10 years later, lung cancer was gone up. still lung cancer is very high. I read in the newspaper 2 days ago, the girl, 8 years old in China has lung cancer. 8 years old. Pollution, epigenetic, epigenome. Of course, wait till few years later. It takes around 10 years for the cancer. You know, they used so much coal instead of, you know, natural gas, and coal create 10 times more pollution than natural gas and oil. So wait and you'll see what happened. They think they are making money. They are going to die, lots of them, millions of them. Let's go, because I want to go one more subject. If there you want, we have intermission, because we have a lot of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about genetic engineering. Genetic engineering means change the gene, alter the gene, fix the gene. It happened 1905, 1904, that a lady in Italy had a uterine vertex cancer, had a big tumor. And then the dog bite her. The dog bite her, she has to go, doctor gave her a rabies shot. Rabies shot is live virus, but it had been weakened. After a couple of weeks, they saw the tumor is gone. So they realized virus has something to do with it. So from then, they did a genetic engineering on vegetable, on fruits. We have a lot of fruit. On animal, we have glowfish that we buy. Those are genetic engineering. Then on drug, we have insulin from bacteria, genetic engineering. On human, they started from 1972. Then few people died. It was very complicated. They left it alone. By 2006, they came back. So far, they had done 2,000 trials. You know, the way you mentioned, they have to try it on animals, then they have a good result, go on human, go get it from FDA, Food and Drug Administration, okay, Congress should say, okay. Anyway, 2012, they approved for some disease, cancer, Alzheimer, and they did hemophilia. They did it for AIDS and for anemia. 5 diseases, they said, that's fine. You can do genetic engineering. I want to explain a couple of them. We don't have time for everything. Look, this is a virus. They empty DNA from virus, because if the DNA is there, it's split and cause a problem for us, okay? Instead of DNA of virus, they add a gene that create antigen, antibody. Antibody increase our immunity. And injected, not 1, not 2, they do millions of viruses. Injected in the body, in the vein. This goes inside the body. You know, the cancer cells, they are weak. They have a low immunity. They have been divided, so they just run to these and they kill cancer cell, you know. Also, last time I mentioned, you know, the vein, these arteries and veins, sometimes they block by this cancer cell. They go and open up this cancer cell. Of course, it takes months, sometimes years they do that. They receive the result. It's not something fast. In hemophilia patient, the liver doesn't produce type of protein. So if they bleed, the bleeding cannot stop. Right now, they give medication. They give shot. They have to go every few months. So they empty this DNA. They put a gene from somebody healthy with the same blood type that can produce, that gene, a special gene, can produce protein. Then they inject it in the liver, not the blood, because the liver is making that. And they have received a good result. But I have better news also. Let me see. If you want, I go one more, and then we have intermission. Is it okay? You are not exhausted.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, one.
I wanted to say, you know, that, medical doctors, they're smart, but PhDs or scientists are smarter because they're the ones that are doing the discovery and or inventing and passing on that knowledge to medical doctors who just basically is following, instruction or procedure or whatever, right?
What the research people do, they spend more time. Some of them waste their life for science. You know, you are right. But also, it depends who is a doctor. A lot of people I talk, they are doctors. Anyway, let's meet Feng Zhang and George Church. These two are chemiobiologists. They work for MIT and Harvard University. Again, they are very smart. They figure out something very important. They figure out bacteria have memory. Bacteria have. When the virus invade bacteria, they fight, they kill the bacteria. Second time the same virus came, say, aha, I know who you are. Immediately, the DNA or the RNA produced the enzyme that we call it Cas9. Cas9 is short for CRISPR. This enzyme is unbelievable. It goes and kills the virus. It goes in our DNA. It takes care of any bad sequence. It is unbelievable. So far, for AIDS, we have a medicine. We control the disease. But they try this Cas9. It kills the virus. They tried it on malaria disease. Malaria around the world kills 500 to 1 million people every year. This is a mosquito. It goes inside mosquito, get rid of the bad sequences. It cures so many, Alzheimer, it cures schizophrenia. It is out of this world. I'm so excited. Dr. George thinks that by a few years, of course, they went to Congress. They are trying to push hard to get approval, everything. In future, we are going to have genetic vaccination. All of us would have vaccination because why do we need a bad sequence, bad genes? This is just amazing, outstanding. They did that one of the rats had a very bad liver disease, and they injected from the tail into the liver, and that took care of it. That rat was okay. So it is amazing science. One more. Cas9, CRS9, enzyme. It's an enzyme. Sure. CRISPR is the technique they are using, and hopefully they get approval. I do one more, and then we go. One more. I want to get to the brain. I don't know. That is mass spectroscopy machine. This is another invention. It's amazing. In 2 years, the clinic, the doctor have to buy it. We have many doctors here. They have to buy it. Because the base of this machine is on mathematics, biology, and physics. They take somebody's blood, and they separate the DNA. Of course, they have different technique. They can use a stain, separate DNA. This machine, then they throw the remaining into this machine, feed it into the, can identify 1,000 pathogen, bacteria, virus, fungi, 1,000. You know, today, if you want to know if you have a cold or if you have bacterial infection, they have to give a culture. It takes 2 days, the result comes. This machine, 5 hours. 5 hours tell you, do you have bacteria? Why should we take an antibiotic if we don't have bacterial infection, you know? And they are so smart. They have brain. I was thinking about they are smarter than us. We show up. We say we are so intelligent. We are so smart. They can fight virus much better. We are learning from them. They also, they are getting immunity against this antibiotic. I had a friend, this is interesting, I didn't want to tell you. Bacteria are killing us. I had a friend, Rachel Feinberg. She had a mother-in-law, 59 years old. She was so energetic. She was so active. She was teaching aerobic, you know. One day she had a cold. 4 days she didn't care. People who are very energetic, exercise a lot, their temperature is higher. She didn't pay attention. She went to the class. After that, in 3 days, she had a streptococcus bacterium. It killed her. They did autopsy, and they realized it went from the throat to the lung to the heart. it killed her. These bacteria can kill us. I'm going to talk about bacteria. So you know about these. Let me talk about I love this lady. Yeah?
Strep throat. Streptococcus is strep.
Yes, streptococcus. Bonnie Bassler, genius in Princeton University. You know, sometimes people are genius and people think they are crazy because they are not the smart themselves. You know, from 1980, this lady said bacteria communicate with each other. People laugh at her. She said, she's crazy, she's crazy. I swear 2 days ago, I listened to her lecture. I was shocked. You go online, you can listen to her. How fast she talks, how brilliant she is. She said, okay, of course, then they realized she was right. She got a MacArthur award. This is a scholarship they give to genius people, to the creative people. She said, we know bacteria are primitive, but they are not simple. What happened? Bacteria enter in your body. First, they become 2, 4, 5, 20. They become colony. Then, when they realize they can have effect on your body, whether they create enzyme, they collect and they get together and they create light. A lot of flies also create light. This is a light that they create. Of course, how they do it, they become 3 different molecules. They become 3 different groups. One group identify brother and sister. One group identify relatives and cousins. The third group identify the host. Where are they? They are inside us, inside tree, on the ground. And then, if they know they are effective, they create a poison. This poison, whether can make us sick or kill us. This lady is so smart. This article, believe me, was 2 months ago. Right now, that time she said, I am going to find something to disturb this communication. This communication causes quorum sensing. I am going to disturb this quorum sensing. Actually, she has found a couple of things. Anti-quorum sensing, pro-quorum. In his lecture, she was saying, look, we have bad bacteria, good bacteria. All our body are full with the bacteria. These are good bacteria. If we don't have so many, the ultraviolet radiation is going to kill us. So I'm going in the future, antibiotics are going to have these pro and anti. So we add the pro, so we protect ourselves. We add the anti, so we disturb these communications so they cannot make us sick. So she's another genius. I'm so happy. 52 years old, she's genius. Okay, let's go have a tea and coffee. We only have 10 minutes for tea and coffee. Come back and no. Thank you. Believe me, یه گاوروگا آدم عادت میشه، ربات میشه. مگه ما
کار نکرده بگی زودتر خسته شده بودیم ربات هم شدی خوب بود
مسرت باشه. به خدا هی دارم کوچیکش میکنم برای